Hello. Hi. We're just starting. Oh, I need to turn the music down because I turned it up because it's such a big vibe. Music down. There we go. Hi, friends. Hello. So, today we're starting Mario 64. I am very excited for it because it's been a while since I played this game. Well, I say I'm very excited. I've 100%ed Mario 64 one time and I swore I'd never do it again. But we're gonna do it. We're doing this is happening. We're doing it. Yeah. But I do enjoy this game. I grew up on Mario 64 DS, but we are gonna play Mario 64 today on 3D All-Stars on the Switch. Yo, it's really raining outside. Like, I'm gonna get choked going to work today. Like, it's so bad. But yeah, I suggest we just jump into the game because it's so fun. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I haven't turned on my Switch. That would help. Yippee! Okay. Let me see what I'm doing. Nice. Okay. Nice. Oh, the cute music. Mario Sunshine. Right, okay. So, I think I remember the controls.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
Cute. What memories? Right, give me Live Split. Now oh, no update. Now today, it's raining so bad, isn't it? Are you back home yet? Like, I actually might get the bus with how horrendous this rain is. Because, like, fuck. Yeah, it's supposed to stay raining until later.
Bye
Ew.
bye.
Bye-bye. Just went through my front door and I'm soaked. Yikes.
Press start to play.
Sorry, bear with me one moment. Yeah, no, so go and get yourself cleaned up, lovely. But, yeah, I want to play Mario 64. I've not played this game since 3D All-Stars came out, basically.
Press start to play.
I will do that, thank you. Okay, so I have a 100% file. So we're just going to do like Mario B. Okay, we're going to do Mario A. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Right, we're going to do Mario A. Because my save file's gone over there. That's a really interesting light effect. Ooh, everything was yellow. Crazy. I might have experienced that. I can't remember if I've experienced that, but yeah, sounds fun. Like bright yellow. Wow. Crazy. Okay, let's do this. I'm also probably not going to speak so that we get the audio. Like, not speak over it, you know what I mean? So I will yap in a moment.
Okie dokie.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
No, I can yap over it, because if I need to get this footage, I can just record it again. Change my mind. Without live split, then, which will be a plus. Wow. Yeah, pipe down. Ciao! You've reached Princess Toadstool's castle via a warp pipe. Use the controller. Using the controller is a piece of cake. Press B to jump and Y to attack. Press A to read signs 2. Use the left stick to move around. Now head for the castle. Woohoo! I can't do the skip. Oh, the camera. Oh, God. Good afternoon. The Lakitu Bros here, reporting live from just outside the princess's castle. Mario has just arrived at the scene and will be filming the action live as he enters the castle and he pursues the missing Power Stars. As seasoned cameramen, we'll be shooting from the recommended angle, but you can change the angle with the right stick. If we can't adjust any further, we'll buzz. Take a look at the surroundings, stop and tilt. To take a look at the surroundings, stop and tilt the right stick forward. Press B to resume play, switch camera modes with the R button. Signs along the way will review these instructions. For now, reporting live, this has been the Lakitu Bros. Welcome. No one's home. Now get lost and don't come back. Am I glad to see you? The princess and I and, well, everybody, we're all trapped inside the castle walls. Bowser has stolen the castle stars and he's using their power to create his own world in the paintings and walls. Please recover the power stars. As you find them, you can use their power to open doors that Bowser has sealed. There are 4 rooms on the first floor. Start in the one with the painting of Bob-omb inside. It's the only room that Bowser hasn't sealed. When you collect 8 power stars, you'll be able to open the door with the big star. The princess must be inside. I know where I'm going. I've played this game so many times. Big Bob-omb on the summit. Wow, you're smack in the middle of a battlefield. You'll find the power stars that Bowser stole inside the painting worlds. First, talk to the Bob-omb buddy. Press A to talk. He'll certainly help you out, and so will his friends in other areas. To read signs, stop, face them, and press A. Press A or B to scroll ahead. You can talk to some other characters by facing them and pressing A. Literally the nostalgia. I love their little noses. The hip 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 hip. So good. Watch out! If you wander around here, you're liable to be splattered by a water bomb. Those enemy Bob-ombs love to fight, and they're always finding ways to attack. This meadow has become a battlefield ever since Big Bob-omb got his paws on the Power Star. Can you recover the star for us? Cross the bridge and go left up the path to find Big Bob-omb. Please come back and see me after you've retrieved the Power Star. Dude. Okay. Hey you, it's dangerous up ahead, so listen, take my advice. Cross the 2 bridges ahead, then watch for falling water bombs. The big Bob-omb at the top of the mountain is very powerful, don't let him grab you. We're Bob-omb buddies, and we're on your side. You can talk to us whenever you'd like to. Nice. Oh. 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 How do I grab? Like that. Yeet! Let's go and read this sign. For reasons. There are special caps in red, green, and blue blocks. Step on the switches hidden in courses to activate the cap blocks. Okay. Literally the nostalgia. And the nightmares. Thank you. Yeah, Yeah, Berry, have you played Mario 64 or have you played 64 DS? I know you said you grew up on DS, but have you played this version as well? Or seen this version anyway? Because I've played through this once, but I've watched Twitch streamers play this game so much. Oh. The camera's really bouncing. What the hell? I've seen this version, but not played it myself. Okay. There are elements of wonk to it, but that's okay. Ooh. Ooh. Nice. Hello. I'm the Big Bob-omb, Lord of all blasting matter, King of kabooms the world over. How dare you scale my mountain? By what right do you have to set foot on my imperial mountaintop? You may have eluded my guards, but you'll never escape my grasp. You'll never take away my power star. I hereby challenge you, Mario. If you want the star I hold, you must prove yourself in battle. Can you pick me up from behind and hurl me to this royal turf? I think you cannot. Yeah, well, you move, like, slower than the speed of dark, so I can really do that. Like, it's not... Oh, if I press the right button. There you go. How do I throw? Like that. How do I do the... Oh, not like that. Can I not center the camera behind me? No, I cannot. Oh, that makes him dive as well. I forgot. Okay. What? Can it be that a pipsqueak like you has diffused the Bob-omb King? You might be fast enough to ground me, but you'll have to pick up the pace if you want to take King Bowser by the tail. Methinks my troops could learn a lesson from you. Here's your star, as promised, Mario. If you want to see me again, select the star from the menu. For now, farewell. It's just caused an existential crisis for Mario. Like, what's a menu? Okay. You've recovered one of the stolen power stars. Now you can open some of the sealed doors in the castle. Try the princess's room on the second floor and the room with the painting of Womp's fortress on floor 1. Bowser's troops are still gaining power, so you can't give up, Mario. Save us. Keep searching for stars. Sure. Foot race with Koopa the Quick. Thank you, Mario. Big Bob-omb is nothing but a big dud now. But the battle for the castle has just begun. Other enemies are holding the power of the stars. If you recover more stars, you can open new doors that lead to new worlds. My Bob-omb buddies are waiting for you. Be sure to talk to them. They'll set up cannons for you. Dude. Okay. We're peace-loving Bob-ombs, so we don't use cannons, but if you'd like to blast off, we don't mind. Help yourself. We'll prepare all cannons in this course for you. Bon voyage. Yeah, no, I did love the DS version. It was so good. Ready for blast off? Come on, hop into the cannon. You can reach the star on the floating island by using the 4 cannons. Use the left stick to aim, then press B to fire. If you're handy, you can grab onto trees or poles to land. Okay, well, I'm going to do... Oh, controls inverted. I'm going to do Koopa, so I need to... not do that. I need to... There we go. This doesn't bode well for levels where cannoning is very precise. Wait, I should take the life, shouldn't I? Thank you. Okay, I always go that way. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but I always go this way when I race Koopa. Oh, the camera's like, no, you will go this way. Hey, Mario, is it true that you defeated Big Bob-omb? Cool. You must be strong and pretty fast. How fast are you, anyway? Fast enough to beat me, Koopa the Quick? I don't think so. Just try me. How about we race to the big mountaintop where the big bomb was? What do you say? When I say go, let the race begin. Ready? Go! Good start. I don't know if people go this way normally, but this is the way I go. Ooh. Sorry, I'm locked into Race Cooper the Quick. Why am I like this? Oh. Thank you, side flip. Whee! Work it, Mario, work it. Well, now I can't see anything. Ow. Oh my god, low poly Mario. Low poly Mario can't hurt you guys. Dude, where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hello. Also, he's just got one eye with two pupils in. That's a bit scary. Sorry, let me get my voice acting on. Whoa, you really are fast. A human blur. Here you go. You've won it fair and square. Thanks, I'm sick. Ba, ba, ba. What's next? Shoot to the island in the sky, sure. So I don't always know what the missions are because I played the DS. Like, I know what those missions are. But I'm not so good with these ones. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? I reckon... There. Oh, I'm insane. Right, is there a star just here somewhere? Is it in this box? Yes. Awesome. I was watching somebody play through this game. Or some of this game. Like a YouTube video, I mean. And they said it's... Oh, sorry. You can come and go from open courses as you please. The enemies ahead are even meaner, so be careful. Yeah, sure. Find 8 red coins. Say less. The problem is, though... I should now get 100 coins. Oh, that coin's zooming. I'm not going to get that. Oh, camera, please don't do that. Like, I'm having the biggest scrap with this camera. It's unreal. To be fair, that's true, yeah. Oh yeah, so Barry, I was thinking, because I've made an autism notes app of what games I'm going to play in what order. I was thinking maybe we do Mario 64, then go back to 3D World, and do another character run of that. Then I could maybe do, if you're not enjoying Galaxy, I could maybe do Galaxy then, or I could do 3D Land, then another 3D World, and then Galaxy if you want to keep going with that. Oh, doesn't this one give me 5? Please. I do want to keep playing it. Amazing. Nope. Dude, fuck you. Yeah, blue coin, thank you. I think you were too EP last time. Okay. Saturday? Question mark? We can see, we can see, we can see. Wait, in my little head, I was like, no, don't do 100 coins until you've got the wing cap. Because otherwise it's going to take me ages. Best viewers, how about you get banned? Judging by the fact I passed up 10 hours. Oh, yeah, no. Maybe you might be. If there's anything I can do with that. I didn't come up for you. Oh, yeah, it was, restricted. I see. Twitch was like, I'm sus of this account. Yeah. Nope. Just kidding. That's true. I mean, literally tell him that. Oh, wait, so yeah, because I was so... Whoa! So fuming at Don Paulo yesterday, I didn't really take it in. So you're working next week now, are you? Because, ew. Well, I'm just going to try and get whatever coins I can right now. It's going to be like 1 coin, isn't it? Oh, 3 coins. Sick. Then I'll get whatever's going on here. Oh, shit. So many coming up, I'm just fucked. That really sucks. You know what he's done next week? Interesting, okay. Right, can't I get coins from these? I am truly a gamer. Okay, I got 50 coins, we're halfway there. And we've not even done the mountain yet. Do I get coins if I actually smash these in? No. Nice. Awesome. I'll have that. No, I'll have that. Thanks. Please. 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 Okay. Oh my god, the camera. Oh, it's so janky. Like, how did people exist? How did people game it back in the day? I could never. No, I'm not going that way, camera. I'm going this way. Behave yourself. Thank you. Oh, please, Mario, please. Please, Mario, please. Okay. Yeah, I'll take DS call it a day. Literally. I love the DS version. It's so fun. If that blew up the box, that would have been incredible game. Nothing there. Awesome. Yippee! I'm a little worried that there's not another 18 coins on this mountain. I don't know, bro. I'm a little scared. Because I don't want to have to just keep shooting at the ones in the sky. I don't want to do that. Oh my god, yeah, the little health thing. Fun. Any more coins for me? I see the red coin there. Before anybody says it. There are no more coins here, brother. Right, where was it? Was it on top of the chain shop when I just didn't spot it? Oh, ow. Oh, I love this camera. Right, I don't think I've done these bombs, have I? Because if you kill an enemy, then the enemy respawns, it won't give you a coin. Oh, we're so fine. I need 5 more, and this is one of them. Nice. Don't perceive me. Wait. I've thought of a problem. Yeah, there's an issue we have here. The issue is, if I shoot off into the sky to get the last few coins. Oh, I might be safe. The star spawns where you get the coin. Okay, I can get that with the cannon. This is gonna be fine. Okay, it's fine. Whew. I do want to save, yes, because I'm never doing that again. I swear that noise is in Galaxy. That noise is in Galaxy as well. Okay.
Here we go.
Right, we do. It does tell us that we've got coins. Okay. Noted. Right, so Mario Wings to the Sky. We can't do that one. So we're just going to do the Chain Chomp, then call it a day. Sorry, call it a day for this level. We're still streaming. Yippee! I know. What's your favourite levels, everybody? What is your favourite level of Mario 64? Oh, I would love it if I knew where I was going. Ow. Oh my god, I might die. Okay, I didn't die. Nice. Thanks. Yippee! Behind Chin Chop's gates. Okay, so... I'm going to try. This is probably a bad idea. I'm going to try and get as few secret stars as I can. No, I shouldn't do that. That's rubbish. That's a bad idea. Let's do the fun one, everybody. Let's treat ourselves. Reacting to the power star, the door opens slowly. Fun one! Yippee! Oh, I was too slow. Oh, I've had a skill issue. I believe I was 0.2 seconds away from the speedy star, but oh well. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's just go fast as fuck, boy. Fast as fuck, boy. It's such a jam, this one. I love it. Oh, easy. What was I doing last time? Okay, second star. From the slide. Oh. Easy.
Here we go!
I've recovered 8 of the power stars. Now you can open the big door with the big star, but Bowser is just ahead. Can you hear the princess calling? Shall I do that now? No. Let's go in here. And if I get to 15 stars and a certain something doesn't happen, we'll go and defeat Bowser. But I don't think you need to. Okay, banger level incoming. Chip off Womp's block. Hello, the Lakitu Bros here, cutting in with a live update on Mario's progress. He's about to learn a technique for sneaking up on enemies. The trick is this: he has to walk very slowly in order to walk quietly. And wrapping up filming techniques reported on earlier, you can take a look around by tilting the stick, pull the stick back to view the action from a distance. When you can't move the camera any further, the buzzer sound will sound. This is Lakitu Bros signing off. Awesome, thanks. Oh shit, yeah. Well, we can either be really sneaky or just fucking send it. Just send it at them. Nice. I don't like that these ones have faces. I don't like that. And the old Thwomp look. Oh my god, this game's so old. No, it's fun. I like it. It is still a vibe. You ready to have a heart attack as a child? They fall down. Oh, I've had a mare. Oops. Oops. Correct. Okay, let's not fall down like a fool this time. Don't say it, Barry. Don't do me like that. Nah. Anybody like that speedrun strat? Just ground pound through it, because the guy just goes through you if you're in your ground pound animation. This game's amazing. And yes, it works with the big one. It makes me so mad! We build your houses, your castles, we pave your roads, and still you walk all over us. Do you ever say thank you? No! Well, you're not going to wipe your feet on me. I think I'll crush you just for fun. Do you have a problem with that? Just try and pound me, wimp. Mm-hmm. There you go. 1. 2. 3. No, crushed again. I'm just a stepping stone after all. I won't grovel. Here, you win. Take this with you. Sensational.
Here we go!
The top of the tower, is it next? Yes, top of the fortress. I remember when I was little and I played this for the first time. On the DS, like. I was so amazed that you defeat the guy. Oh, shit. Okay. You defeat the guy, and then a whole ass tower shows up at the top. There we go. Have that. Ah! Too fast, too furious. Yippee! Can't you, like, triple jump up here? I wouldn't know. I actually just wouldn't know, apparently. Sensational. Move! Get out the way! Okay. But yeah, like, I come back here and now there's a whole tower. Like, wow, isn't that so cool? Me, as a child, not understanding how video game levels work. I like to think that was here because the devs couldn't be bothered to keep putting in the platforms. Nice. Here we go. 10 stars, huge, sensational. Shoot into the wild blue. What's that? Oh, I think I know what that is. I think I know what it is. Shit. Is it down here? Yeah, cannon guy's here. Hello. Hi, I'll prepare the cannon for you. Thank you. Ready for blast off? Come on in, hop into the cannon. Right, I think I'm going for the star that's over there. Oh shit! Okay, I'm still alive, it's fine. I am, in fact, still alive. Incredible. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm clipping through the star, but sure. Sure. Wonky, a little bit wonky. But, you know, it was their first try. It was Nintendo's first try. Red coins on the floating isle. Okay. So it's probably 100%... No, 100 coin time as well. Regrettably. I regret to inform you all. You gotta give them that. Oh, yeah. No, they did good. They did so good. But just in... Year of our Lord 2025, it's a bit ooh. Ooh. Okay. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. Let's go slow. Then punch his lights out. Okay. Anything on here? No. Whoa, he just grows back. I thought they'd like respawn off screen. I didn't know he just popped back off. That's cool. Right, I'm actually going to have to keep an eye on the time, you know, because I am enjoying this a lot. I'm not looking at the clock. Like, I know I'm playing the easy baby levels, but, like, I'm really enjoying myself. What? Shut up. I don't think there's anything on this pole. Work it, Mario, work it. Is that, on top of the pole, a bit of wiggler? I think that's a bit of wiggler. Oh my god. Literally, I didn't know he was built like that. I mean, Mario has got that dumpy in this game. Like, look at that thing. Especially when he walks. Like, look at that. Damn, boy. Keith, heck. Nice. Yeah, Heath heck. Okay, I've missed... Oh, nice. Nice amount of coins. I missed a coin there, but I think I've got enough, to be honest. Because there's blue coins down here. Ooh, well held. Oh, so easy, so free. How many red coins have I got? I don't know. It's got to be like 6 or 7. Oh, I thought there was one here. Oh, shit. Nice. Where's the last red coin then? Yes, I want to save. Oh, is it on there? Oh, it's on there, isn't it? I don't think I can get it from down here. Oh, no, I can. Awesome. I didn't even get those either. Ooh, flush for coins. Here we go. Blast away the wall? Nope, fall onto the caged island. Okay. Well, this one is easy peasy squeeze the lemon. Who's there? Who woke me up? It's still daylight. I should be sleeping. Me. Hey, as long as I'm awake, why not take a short flight with me? Press and hold B to grab on, release B to let go. I'll take you wherever you want to go as long as my wings hold out. Watch my shadow and grab on. I missed. Whee! Skill, shut up. What? Oh shit. Missed it. Well, I didn't die. So it's fine. And the owl should be just back here. Or have I got to respawn him? No owl. Megamind emote. Oh, there you are. Skill. Right, I played this game like this one time, Barry. So, pipe down. There we go. Sensational. It's fine, maybe your skill's light elsewhere. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about. If I go over here, he's not going to try and talk to me again, is he? Oh, he is. Fuck. Right, we are blasting away the wall. Yeah. You know, totally normal star. You just shoot at this random ass bit of wall. Lol. And you get the star. Sure, Nintendo. Why not? I couldn't figure that one out. when I was a kid. I had to watch like a tutorial for that star. I could never find it. Which, like, can you blame me, to be fair? The wall just... There's no signs that the wall's going to give. And then it does. Nice. And Whomp's Fortress is done. And now we have 15 stars. Okay. Which I think means it's go time. Is it go time? It's go time. Welcome to the Wing Cap course. Step on the red switch at the top of the tower in the center of the rainbow ring. When you trigger the switch, all of the red blocks you find will become solid. Try out the Wing Cap. Triple jump to take off and press ZL to land. Pull back on the left stick to go up, tilt forward to nosedive, just as you would when flying a plane. Okay. I've got this. I don't have this, I've already missed it. I think if you miss it, you can't really get back up again. No. I don't think they're saving this. No, there isn't. Okay. You've stepped on the wing cap switch. Wearing the wing cap, you can soar through the sky. Now, wing caps will pop out of all the red blocks you find. Would I like to save? Yes. Okay, this, everybody, does not count as a death. I have 12 lives, and I still have 12 lives. It's not a death. Oh my god, am I actually a god gamer? No, I'm not. Where's the tower? Here. Can I save it? Because it's the last one, I might be able to save it. Oh, go on. Oh, you suck. Okay, it's definitely achievable. But this game has so much wonk, it's unreal. Okay. Now. Okay. Save and continue, because I'm not doing that again. Now, everybody, we are going to do the best level of the whole game. Cool Mountain! Slip sliding away, let's go. Oh, the jam. This is on my playlist. It's such a piss take, but I love it. Right. Snow Mountain Summit. Watch for slippery conditions. Please enter the cottage first. Okay. I'll do that. Are you all ready to see the biggest gamer move? Welcome to the snow slide. Hop on to speed up. Yeah. So I'm about to be such a gamer, you don't even know how much of a gamer I'm about to be. You know, I'd rather not talk about it.
Mamma mia!
You can't write it, can you? You can't write it. Okay. Mamma mia, indeed. My whole life is Mamma mia. Right, let's not cock this up this time, you fucking melt. Right, it's on ice, you see, so it doesn't count. Whee! Gamer time! There's a lot of stuff that doesn't count, huh? Right, shop. You, after you play Galaxy, come play this game, because the controls are rough, okay? I'm making it look easy, because I'm such a cool little bean. But I don't want to hear it. Little Penguin's lost. Well, fortunately, I know what I have to do. Is there a car alarm going off somewhere? Sorry, that's a poor joke. Meh, 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 meh. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Whoa, 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 whoa. Chill, Mario. Behave yourself. Oh, okay. This way, I guess. I hate these guys. Okay. You found my precious, precious baby. Where have you been? How can I ever thank you, Mario? Oh, I do have this star. Here, take it with my eternal gratitude. Anyway. Anywho. Just make sure that's saved. I should witness that. Have you never done that, Barry? Have you never yeeted the little penguin off the edge of the cliff? It's like, maybe there's a chat. Exactly, right? Thank you. Hey, Mario, buddy, how's it going? You just killed my child. Step right up. Looks like a fast sledding kind of guy. I know speed when I see it. Yes, sirree. I'm the world champion sledder, you know. What do you say? Go. I can't remember. Oh, you have to do it. It's like Gaming 101. Right, this time, we have to do the whole thing. Oh god, the rubber banding. We have to do the slide properly. Fucking hell. That's murder. That's murder.
Mamma mia!
I do struggle with excessive empathy, so maybe I felt too bad to do it. I hated that penguin as a kid. There, I said it. I hated that penguin. And I, in some situations, feel the same as you. And in other situations, I don't suffer with that problem, Barry. Oh, go Mario, please. Right, so, because I know my Mario 64, the penguin, no matter what you do, shit. The penguin will rubber band and will catch up to you no matter what happens. I've died 3 times to this slide now, by the way. Just so we are all aware. It's like, even if I zoom ahead now, this penguin is going to catch up to me round about here? Yeah. And he's just off. Like, he gone. Like, how the fuck? And then I can catch up to you again? Oh my god.
Mamma mia!
But it's difficult when the penguin is trying to actively murder you. Let's try going down forwards, just for fun. I don't know why. Oh, just kidding, I'm now on my ass. Right, let me get way, way, way ahead of you. Oh my god. No, see ya. Idiot. Done it. Okay. Woo! See ya. Okay, you're now walking into the wall, you dope. Yeah, I haven't called somebody a dope in so long. You broke my record. Oh, sorry, I'm laughing now. I knew you were the coolest, now you've proven you're also the fastest. I can't award you a gold medal, but here, take the star instead. You've earned it. I don't know where dope came from, but that's from, like, the depths of my mind. You dope. Oh, incredible. Oh. Right. Sound not in it. Oh. Did you hear me say sound on the radio yesterday? I possibly did, yeah, I thought you might have. I hope you know that question was just for you, Barry, when I said, do we need anything? It was fully so you could either say no or actually do need something, and I could just go, okay, sound. Oh, hello. Boing. Literally, I got Steve jump scared. Wait, hang on. Let me go in the house. Is the penguin still there? Fuck. Can I just run past? Oh, I can. Oh, okay. I want to try and get all, well, as many coins in the slide as I can. Because you get a fuckload. Then I'll do the red coins. Woo! Then we'll be good to go. C77 already. Incredible. Well, I didn't get... I don't know what you've just told me, Barry. Didn't get my phone call, so I had to have... Oh. It's occurred to me what you said. Okay. Again, sounding like the Joker, you know. I just want my phone call. Yeah, I'm aware now. I've picked it up. I've picked up what you're putting down. Yeah, I did. I mean. Maybe you are in your Joker era. I'm scared. Oh, this is so tough because I've got to dismount it, haven't I? Do I? Oh, I don't. Okay. I thought I had to jump off and talk to the bob-omb, but I don't. Why is it so serious? Because I'm apparently now dating the Joker. Which isn't necessarily what you want to be doing. But, you know, I'll make it work. Don't say that. Oh god, oh no. Stop sliding, Mario. Are there things up there? There are. Fuck you. Well, you'd still love me if I was a worm, so I guess I'll do that. 7. Ooh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you. I'll try my little best for you. Right, I am short 6 coins. Oh, what is this? What's happening? Ooh. Ooh. Thanks. Thank you, my love. I'm once again sorry to any other viewers right now. Heart, if you're lurking, I'm sorry. Oh, there's some. Whoa there, brother. Oh, okay. We can walk on this bit, it's fine. Nice. I'm not that insufferable, right, chat? I don't know, chat, I don't know. Ooh! Fuck me sideways. Okay. I wonder where the last red coin is. Is it on the house? Don't say I mean. Don't do that. Maybe it's on the house where the penguin is. Yeah, if given the opportunity, I know. I know you would. Okay, it's not there. No, it's not on the house. And it's not down there. I know it isn't down there. Hi, Opera, I can for you, thanks. Danger strong gusts, but the wind makes for a comfy ride. I think that means I can just go like this, doesn't it? Thanks. It's windy. Okay. I want to make it all the way down the slide. No. All the way down the slide to make sure I'm not missing it. Like on here somewhere before I start, like, well done. In melon. No, it's not there. But it's not down here because I've got the one that's down here. Should I Google it? Am I really going to have to Google Cool Mountain 8 red coins? Because that's a bit embarrassing. It's not over there because that's where that thing is. That was pretty slick. It's not here. Right, I'm Googling it. I'm doing it. Cool Mountain 8 red coins. Cool Mountain red coins. Yeah, one next to the house. Yep. Oh, it's in a difficult place to get to. Oh, no. Yeah, no, it sucks. What I have to do now, it sucks. And I shouldn't leave it to last because I'm going to die. I have to get myself... Nice one, Mario. But... I have to get myself up there. But that means I have to go up there and drop down, which is scary. Oh, I tried. An attempt was made. Oh, I hate these guys. Oh, okay, I hate these guys. Right, warp me! Thank you. Stop it! The hitbox on that tree is massive, I'm telling you. I'm telling you! Right, I need to go like here. And then jump down like here, I think. And hopefully I'll hit the ice block. Yeah, okay, it's fine. What's in this? Fun. Okay. Then how the heck do I get down? Oh, just there. Okay. Nailed it!
Here we go!
Right, this is the plan. We're going to do... Is this the last one? No. So we're going to do Snowman's lost his head. Oh, then Mario wall jumps that one as well. And then we shall call it there for today. Then tomorrow we will start with Jolly Roger Bay. I say tomorrow, whenever we next stream. I need a good head on my shoulders. Do you know of anybody in need of a good body? Please, I'll follow you if you do. He says as he goes ahead of me. This game's so weird. No, I need to catch up to the head. Oh, I'm really concerned. Okay. Yeah, come here, come here, come here, come here. Ah, you suck. I wish I could, like, reliably get past these. I work tomorrow at 2. I think I do. Thank you for telling me. That saves me looking. No, I still might, because I don't... You know, I might have more time tomorrow, and I could maybe start the stream a little bit earlier. If I don't need a shower because I'm not a stinky bitch. But we could maybe do it tomorrow. Right, is the head back? The head is back. Oh, do I need to go all the way down and talk to the body? If I blast on ahead... Oh, please. Oh. Oh, that worked. Okay, I didn't even need to talk to it. Sure thing. Dude. Thank you. Perfect, what a great new body. Here, this is a present for you. I'm sure it'll warm you up. Thanks. Oh, you just slide if you crouch. Okay. continue. Wall kicks will work. I forgot. Oh shit, the bed. A joke I need to make. Oh no, never mind. I can't make the joke. I was gonna go up to the body, which is down there, and say, so no head, but I guess not. It wasn't to be. I was thinking Snowhead, oh my god, we're the same brand of degen. Oh, amazing, get mugged off, finally. That was close enough. We really are, love this. Sharing the brain cell, literally. Right, so I need to go over here. Then, God help me, I need to shoot at this tree, so I actually, like, catch it. Also, it catches me, rather. Which I reckon about there will do. Please, 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 please. Oh. What a wounder.
Mamma mia! Go.
Well, this time I'm warping down because I'm bored. Not bored, but I'm too lazy. Ooh. Ooh. That's the thing everybody does, right? They say ooh when they teleport. Yes, yes, thank you. I thought we did that. Right, so we're now this time going to shoot... Fucking hell. Oh my god, please. Please. Okay. Shoot like way higher then. Like there? No, it's too high. There's no way. Barely. Okay. Okie dokie. I know how to long jump, yes. Thank you. Oh, just kidding. Do I just have to backflip? Surely I don't backflip and wall jump. That would be... Nice. That would be obscene if they made me do that. I think I do have to do that. Because, I mean, wall kicks will work. That's what they're telling me. Oh, sure, that worked. The wall kicks did work. Ooh, okay.
Here we go!
Saving and quitting.
Press start to play.
Right, so we ended at 1 hour... Yeah, okay. 1 hour, 9 minutes, 33 seconds, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deaths. Okay. Hello. Sure, let's have that. Hi. Job, but hi. So, if I can get up out of bed early, we could do another one of these streams tomorrow, because I really enjoyed that. And I would like to do more of it. And I'm excited for, like, the underground levels. I want to do Bazra's in the Dark World, and I want to do like the fun levels, you know. Let me get my other screen back. I want to do like Lethal Lava Land. Oh, I love Lethal Lava Land. It's so good. Oh, I set the timer going again. Exit, go away. Right, so that's the plan. We're gonna do more maybe tomorrow. I don't think I'll stream tonight. Oh, actually, I won't stream tonight because I'm calling my parents. So I will stream hopefully tomorrow. I might do both tomorrow. I might do a morning stream and an evening stream because I'm busy all weekend. So I might try and do 2 streams. So I'm actually so busy. Like, I know you're joking, like, haha, you're coming around, but like, oh, it's such a busy weekend. Can I be bothered? Like, there's one bit of the weekend I want to do. Anyway, I really see Baby the other day. Literally, though. Like, my parents asked me, like, you know, are you working all this weekend? I was like, oh, yes, I am. But, you know, it's fine. Thanks for stream, of course. Thank you for being here. And yeah, so we're not going to raid. I have to go because I have to go to work. But yes, I will see you soon, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye. Squeak.